Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Spin Master PlayStation God of War Ragnarok KRATOS. And this figure came out a while ago. I never found one anywhere. I never got around to getting it in any way. They finally came in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. They cost more than MSRP there. I don't know what the situation is. That's where I bought it, but I never saw it anywhere else, and I didn't look that hard. So anyway, this is why I'm reviewing it now. I'm finally back to doing reviews after 2 injuries and a blown furnace. It's been one heck of a start of a year for me. But anyway, we're back into it. So we're going to start with this just because so many of you requested it, even though I'm a little bit late on it. I figured I'd go ahead and review it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, the first thing I want to do for you guys is show you my package. I know it's been a while, but we're going to go ahead and start with that. It's a decent package. The blue and white PlayStation coloring is obvious, and then we have some rendering there. I don't ever really prefer to have renders on the front of video game packages because it makes the figures not look good, because they're never going to match the render, so that's unfortunate. There's Kratos, and there's the other character that nobody liked. I don't know, that might be true. And I'd never played it. I'm not a PlayStation guy. Is it on PC now? I think it is. And there's Kratos. Again, another render. There's the figure. And it doesn't even really look like that. I mean, that's a render also, but a render of the model, but it doesn't look quite like that. Decent enough packaging, nothing special at all. Here's the figure, though, and that's what we're more interested in. Okay, so let's see. He's supposed to be 1/12 scale. He looks like he's probably a true 1/12 scale, which will be too small for most people, I think. But let's see. Yeah, I know Kratos isn't like a giant or anything like that, but he's got some size to him, and that seems little. Like, it's probably a true 1/12 scale, so do with that what you will. Let's do a question of the day. Are you guys into true 1/12 scale at this point? I would be, because it makes sense. However, almost no companies give us a true 1/12 scale, so it's really weird when they do, when anyone does, and so that's kind of a problem. But yeah, I'd be fine with figures this size. I don't need them to be big. I'm not a 7-inch collector, so it's weird that Marvel Legends and most people have followed them into that larger size. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I will say this, I guess. Like I said, he is in stock at Big Bad Toy Store. If you haven't found one, you do have to pay a little extra, but it is in stock at the time of filming, so I'll put a link in the description below if you need to track one down. Alright, so this guy is not the NECA Kratos. I don't have one to show you on hand, but it's not painted as well, it's not as detailed, but it's a $25 figure, and it looks pretty darn good. It is better than, like, anything from Hasbro at $25. It's not even close. It's like a Jada version of a $25 6-inch figure. It's a really, really good release. Let's look at the details. Like I said, it's not the most detailed, most advanced finish or anything like that, but it's definitely good enough. Like, it will work. The skin tone's definitely iffy, the red paint iffy, but definitely good enough. If you ask me, for the price, it's more than good enough. And if somebody was so inclined to throw some new paint on here, you'd have a pretty good looking figure. It is nice. Very, very nicely done. For the price point, I don't think it's at all fair to ask for more. That is very, very reasonable. Sculpts are solid too, like, it's not super sharp or anything, but it's definitely good enough. For sure. So for the original price point, I think it was like $25. I think I paid 30 or 35. I don't know. Either way, even at $35, I think this is more than reasonable. Boy, I can't wait till Hasbro releases the pricing for their new super duper line of garbage. Oh boy. Anyway, this one, 9.5 out of 10 for the aesthetic. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really good. Now for accessories, you get 2 sets of hands. You get some fist hands and some gripping hands. They have vertical hinges. That's nice because he has a melee weapon, so that's really good. So as far as weapons go, you do get his axe, which is pretty nicely done. I like that. You get the shield, which is really the only thing that feels super cheap on this guy. And I don't mean feels, but kind of also feels, because it's warped pretty bad. It just looks kind of, like there's enough of a wash on there. It's okay, it's not bad, but I mean, for this price, it's perfectly fine, but I have to review it just so that you know what to look for. It feels a little underdeveloped, just a little bit, because maybe it's the warpage. I don't know. Either way, that pegs into the forearm, and then you also get the collapsed version that also pegs into the forearm, so you're kind of set. That's it. It's not an elaborate set of accessories, but it's definitely enough for the price point. 9.5 out of 10. That's nice. 4 hands, couple weapons. That's good. I'm okay with that. Now, as far as articulation goes, this guy is a brick. No, I'm joking. It's actually pretty good. The head moves around really nicely because double ball pegs are the best thing for head to neck connections. I want to ask this question again. Are you guys on team add an extra joint at the bottom of the neck, or are you on team just leave it a double ball peg at the top of the neck? This one looks nice because there's no cut there, but you don't have the extra range. So I'm curious how you guys feel about that. You still get a lot of range out of the head with just a good double ball peg on there. But I can definitely see the argument for an extra joint at the bottom of the neck. Let me know what you guys think. I don't want to taint the results, so I'm not going to say what I think. Alright, so you get a butterfly joint that works surprisingly well. It's not the best looking thing in the world, but it does function well enough. I think it's cut out too much up here. Like, it goes all the way into the neck. And I guess you can use that if you bring his arm all the way up and over. So there's a specific pose you can do with that. That's nice. Is that called, what is that? Dapping? I don't know what that is. That's not a dap. That's a dab. Is that what it is? Anyway, it's useful for that pose. So there's some utility there, but it's useful enough otherwise. So that's good. Shoulder is your standard ball hinge. Again, not the best looking thing, but it's there. You do get a bicep swivel, which is kind of an ugly situation where the way they have it connecting to the shoulder. It's a little weird in person, but not super noticeable if you're not looking for it. Single jointed elbow, which is a little bit better than 90, so it's okay. Which also has the rotation, which is normally what, like for Mythic Legions or any of the lines that just do this type of elbow joint, you don't typically see a bicep swivel here because it serves a very little purpose. There's some utility there, but this is a strange combo if you ask me. It's not bad, but it's unusual. Then you have the wrists. Like I said, they have the hinges on there. Now this side you would expect to be pretty limited due to all of his coverings, and we're going to find out together if that is the case. So he still does have the butterfly joint. The arm goes back okay, and forward. Yeah, it works well enough considering the price point, and that he does have all of this going on here, and it's just a fairly basic figure. I think that's perfectly acceptable, and you do get your bicep swivel and elbow joint there as well, so that's fine. For the torso, ball peg, it's a little high up on the body for just being a single ball peg, but it's actually not bad the way they've done it. The thing is, you have to be careful when you're doing joints like this, that when you move the figure, that actually does something. So the way they have the pivot, when he leans, he's not leaning. He's not actually leaning over. He's rotating, like right here. See how it's moving, but like he's not actually leaning over. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I hope you get what I'm saying. It's a decent ball peg, but it doesn't actually do that much. It's kind of strange. It's not bad, but it's definitely kind of strange. This piece, I think it's technically a separate piece, but it's not going anywhere. So let's see how the hips function. Oh, they function. Those hips functioned. That's what he said? Alright, there you go. Kicks forward far enough. Kicks back a little bit. I'd like to see KRATOS be able to do the This is Sparta kick a little bit better, but that's not bad. Thigh swivel is there, double jointed knees. Oh no, guys, he has pins. It's garbage. Have to throw it away. Yeah, double jointed knees work nicely. Proportioning is solid. Ankles, very nicely done. Gets a little lumpy when you go all the way back, but otherwise it's a pretty clean sculpt and you get really good range out of it. Ankle rocker is there. Yeah, it's solid, guys. Articulation's gonna get, I'm gonna say 8. It's nothing special. There's some stuff that's pretty good, some stuff that's not so good, but it's definitely good enough. You can clip his axe back here, by the way. This is non-functional. So yeah, this is a really good figure. Is it the best figure that's ever been made? No, but for $25, it's a sure bet. Go ahead and get it. Even at 35 bucks, like if you can't get it anywhere else like me, and I'm not saying it was never available. I don't know. I wasn't following this line at all. So maybe it was available easily at some point. I don't know. But either way, right now, it is available at Big Bad Toy Store, I think for 35 bucks. But even at that price point, I would say it's good enough, for sure. At 25 bucks, it blows the doors off of anything else at that price point, other than maybe the Jada Street Fighter line. But there's a lot going on here that's pretty darn good. I'm going to give this guy an overall rating of 9.5 out of 10. Now, I want to justify that by saying 25 bucks is a very good price for this figure. It is limited in articulation to some degree, but everything else more than makes up for it at that price point. So I'm going to stick with it. 9.5 out of 10. Really, really strong release. If you're a Papa KRATOS fan, go ahead and pick this up. Alright, second question of the day. If you made it this far, do you prefer Papa KRATOS or classic like God of War 3 KRATOS? For me, classic all the way, but this one's still pretty darn cool. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, starting again right now, hopefully. Let's hope I don't end up injured again. But I do have thousands of videos already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.